And he went up from thence unto Bethel, and as he was going up by the way, there came forth little children out of the city, and mocked him, and said unto him, Go up, thou bald head, go up, thou bald head. And he turned back, and looked on them, and cursed them in the name of the Lord. And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the wood, and tare 42 children of them.
First, the King James Version has done us a disservice by translating the term as children. The Hebrew word can refer to children, but rather more specifically means young men. The NIV uses the word youths. The word is used of Isaac when he was 28, Joseph when he was 39, and for a group of counselors to the king in 1 Kings chapter 12. So it could mean anything from young men to anyone who is not an elder. Second, the fact that the bears mauled 42 of the youths indicates that there were more than 42 youths involved. This was not a small group of children making fun of a bald man. Rather, it was a large demonstration of young men, who assembled for the purpose of mocking a prophet chosen by God. Third, the mocking of "Go on up, you bald head," is more than making fun of baldness. The baldness of Elisha referred to here may be 1. Natural loss of hair, 2. A shaved head denoting his separation to the prophetic office, or more likely, 3. An epithet of scorn and contempt, Elisha not being literally bald. Either way, the expression bald head is no compliment, but rather a most offensive insult in this context. The phrase "go up" likely was a reference to Elijah, Elisha's mentor, being taken up to heaven earlier in 2 Kings chapter 2. Their to go up was a reference to Elijah's recent ride to heaven. By shouting this challenge to Elisha, they were challenging his right to follow in Elijah's footsteps, as God's designated representative to Israel, and declaring their intention, that they wanted him to meet his Maker as well. Yet if the people were to be called back to God, Elisha had to have credibility as God's designated representative. Fourth, God is sovereign and has the divine right to defend his servants. Furthermore, in the ancient world, what were 42 young men doing idle? They should have been helping their families. These were dangerous juvenile delinquents. A modern-day equivalent would be finding oneself in a shady, abandoned part of town, and a gang of young thugs starts jeering. This was far more serious than a mild personal offense. It was a situation of serious public danger, quite as grave as the large youth gangs that roam American cities. If these young hoodlums were ranging about in packs of 50 or more, derisive toward respectable adults and ready to mock even a well-known man of God, there is no telling what violence they might have inflicted on the citizenry of the religious center of the Kingdom of Israel as Bethel was. Had they been allowed to continue their riotous course. That 2 bears were able to injure so many indicates that the youths were fighting the bears, and didn't scatter. These youths were sarcastically taunting and insulting the Lord's prophet, by telling him to repeat Elijah's translation. This challenge to Jehovah and the authority of his prophet could not be excused, so God made good on a warning issued long before.
And if ye walk contrary unto me, and will not hearken unto me, I will also send wild beasts among you, which shall rob you of your children and